There we go. All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining today's Sylvania product launch for August 2021. I am your host today, Nick Bono, marketing analyst/specialist here at Ledvance. Before we get things kicked off, I do have some housekeeping items that I want everybody to be aware of. So these slides, as well as this webinar that is being recorded, will be sent out sometime early next week to everybody. As for questions, there is a chat box, should be located in the bottom right corner of your screen. Please set the drop down to panelists. It probably is currently set to everybody. Please set that to panelists and type your questions in the chat. We will be taking questions after each product, and we'll try to get to all of them with the best of our ability. So with that being said, we'll move on to the next slide. So here's the agenda for today. We have a long list of products, but I'm telling you, it's definitely worth it. We got some new and interesting products in there. So without wasting any more time, we'll just move right along to the first product. So Lydia, take it away.
Thank you, Nick. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ligia Landini. I'm responsible for indoor luminaires at Ledvance, and I'm here today to present you first our new Ledvance grow lights. If we can go to the next slide, please, Nick. So those are the first professional grow lights that Ledvance is launching. They are Ledvance branded. We have basically 3 different wattages in this first wave. Those products have indoor spectrum. Okay, so in basically they are focused on some applications in greenhouses, vertical farms, indoor growing in general for professional commercial use, mainly for fruits, for cannabis growing. The main point here, the main benefits of this product is that you can have a year-round growth for the plants with a product that has a high efficacy, much higher than some products that we see in the market. We do have a differentiation that that's having the high wattage product, 960 watts, so it's quite a powerful product. Those luminaires can be interconnectable. They're very easy to install. They do have a boost function that can help maximize growth during the fruiting stage. So we can achieve slightly higher wattages than those ones that are listed here. Lifetime is 50,000 hours. It has 5 years warranty. It's dimmable, 0 to 10, and via also the knob that I will show you in a later slide. It generates low heat, has longer life, lower maintenance costs than regular traditional grow lamps, of course, as this is LED technology. If you can go to the next slide, please, Nick. Basically, here is the indoor spectrum map. So you can see that we have peak values for the red and the blue lights. That actually those are the wavelengths that help promote the plant growth. So those are where usually the peaks are for grow lamps. The indoor spectrum is a little bit different from the full spectrum, exactly in those 2 peaks. So usually the full spectrum, it has a higher peak in the blue light, and the indoor spectrum has a higher peak in the red light. As I mentioned before, the indoor spectrum, it's becoming more popular, and because it really seems to have a better efficiency when it comes to especially fruits, okay, so growing fruits indoor. Next slide, please, Nick. So here's a close look at some features that we can see in the product. It's the design is foldable, so it's quite easy to install and to change places, change locations. The luminaires, they can be connected in parallel via the AC mains connector. So you can connect up to 4, 3, or 2 luminaires depending on the wattage via the AC connector. But you can also use an RG12 connector that can connect up to 20 luminaires. And then you can control all of them together via this knob that you can see in the right side of the slide, or you can control with an external dimmer 0 to 10. Okay. In the knob, you can also adjust the boost function. So if you see the detail here, it says 100 or max. So if you go up to max, it pushes the wattage a little bit higher than the regular wattage of the product. Next slide, please. So we have 3 different wattages available, as I mentioned. 2 of them are already available in stock, and the 660 watts is sold as a make-to-order product for now. Okay, the other 2 are already in stock. I think basically that's the brief summary of the grow lights. I don't know if we have any questions, or we can move to the next.
Yeah, so there are some questions. I do, before we get to the questions, I do see some chats saying not being able to see the slides. If you're able to log out and reconnect, I know that is a little bit of a hassle. If you're able to do that, we have found that that has fixed being able to see the slides. So I apologize, but for anybody that cannot see the slides, can you please reconnect? All right, so some questions. Will we have one that is wet location rated?
Well, those are IP40 damp rated, but we are planning to have an IP66 slash wet rated product later on.
Okay. Another question. So it is damp rated. Can it handle washing of the greenhouse or any bit of water falling on it?
It's not meant to be used with direct contact to water, so it's really only for damp locations, vapor and water vapor and so on, but not for direct contact with water.
Okay. Another one, does the boost function change the photon flux or just the output levels?
Yeah, the boost function will increase the power of the luminaire, and it will then increase the photon flux, photosynthetic photon flux. Okay.
Okay. Let's
They are
see.
available now in stock. I think there was one other question about that.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 wattages are in stock, and the 480 and 960 watts, and the 660 watts they are actually make to order.
Okay. Okay. That looks good for right now. Again, when sending questions in the chat, please send it to all panelists. And we'll move right along to the next product.
Okay, so I will continue to present those slides for Pablo that was not able to join us today. So I'll talk about the new Slim micro discs first. High performance Slim micro discs. If you can go to the next slide. Yeah, thank you. So basically, those high performance micro discs, they are dual selectable products. We have 2 different wattages, one for 8.5 watts for the 4 inches and 13.5 watts for the 6 inches, 611 100 lumens, okay? They are 5 CCT selectable, dimmable, universal voltage. So they are meant to be used in residential application and also commercial applications. 5 years of warranty. They are CRR 90, Energy Star, and Tile 24, okay, listed. If you can go to the next slide, Nick. They also come with 4 different color trim rings. So we have those sold separately, actually, as an accessory. So we have 4 different colors for the 4 inches and for the 6 inches. Next one. And basically, this is the phase in, phase out process that it's important for you to notice. We are on a movement for dual selectable or CCT selectable or dual selectable products in some cases. In this case, we are talking about a CCT selectable product. So we are replacing all those 24 SKUs that we currently have under the high performance LED tier of the slim micro discs to only basically 2 SKUs, much easier to manage inventory and so on. It's quite simple to change the CCT in the junction, in the driver box, as you can see in the picture. So that's a trend, and that's something that we've been following for many products since we started last year, and now much more products you will start to see with this this dual selectable or CCT selectable feature. Next one. So those are the 2 SKUs that we have in 4 inches and 6 inches, and they will be available in stock by the end of September. Okay, so they were already shipped, and then we are waiting for them to arrive in stock in the end of September. Any questions on the slim micro disc?
I currently do not see any questions that have come in for the micro disc as of now. They might be a little delayed, but I think we can move on to the next next product.
So we can go to the next one. Then we have 2 new ceiling luminaires. The first one is the puff ceiling luminaire with EMBB and sensor integrated. This luminaire, basically, we have 2 different versions that I will show you. I will show you one with only the motion sensor and another one that also has the EMBB. Those are also part of our high performance LED tier. So with high level specs, 9 CRI, dimmable, Tile 24, Energy Star, 5 CCT selectable. This luminaire comes in 15 inches, 21 watts, 1500 lumens, okay, dimmable. And we have the 120 volts version and the universal voltage version, okay. Also 5 CCT selectable, so 27K, 3K, 4K, 35, 4K, and 5000K, okay. Next one. Something important that I forgot to mention also, that those are damp rated, okay, so also something important. Here you can see a little bit more details about the sensor functionality. So basically it covers a range of 3 meters high, 3 meters radius. It has a 30 seconds delay time, okay. The luminaire comes, the PIR sensor is like in the middle of the product, and if during daylight, it also has a dusk to dawn sensor. So during daylight, even if it sends motion, it will not turn on. Okay, if there is insufficient daylight or the room is dark and so on, then when it detects motion, the light will turn on. Okay. There's a test button also that you can test the battery function. So basically the battery will recharge in 24 hours. It lasts 20 minutes and the output wattage is 2 watts. Okay. Installation quite simple, very easy to install in a regular junction box. So very nice product with a nice design and very easy to install. Nice features. So it's a new feature to have a product with the motion sensor plus the emergency battery backup. Okay. Next one. Those are the three different NADEs that we have. So the first two with the motion sensor only, and the third one with the emergency battery backup. Okay. And the inventory will be available in September in stock. Diameter, I think maybe, oh, it's almost 15 inches. I think I mentioned that, but so it comes in only one size, basically 15 inches. Okay, next one.
Okay, there are a couple questions before we move on to the next product.
Okay.
Can the puff sensor light be set to dim but not go off?
No, it cannot be set to dim down and not go off because then we would need to have a different sensor. That's like a simple PR sensor, so it will just turn off. Okay.
Okay, and I think that you kind of answered the second question. Are there bi-level dimming?
They are 0 to 10 dimmable. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all the questions that I see. We'll move right along.
Okay, the next one is a very similar product with similar features, but in a different design. So basically, it's the high performance LED Saturn ring luminaire, ceiling luminaire. It's also 5 CCT selectable. It comes in 16 inches, 24 watts. The lumen output is a little bit higher than the puff ceiling, so we're talking about 1700 lumens. But it's also dimmable 0 to 10, universal voltage, 50,000 hours, and I think I forgot to mention in the puff ceiling that there's also one product that's 120 phase cut dimmable, but in this case, the Saturn ring, it's only universal voltage. Okay, so 16 inches. It's also damp rated, CIR 90, Energy Star and Tile 24. The housing is also polycarbonate. Okay, next one. So basically the same functions. The sensor is the same. Battery specifications also the same. It's really just a different product design that we are different specs. Okay. Next one. So we have two different NATEs here, one with only the motion sensor and one with the motion sensor plus the emergency battery backup integrated in the product. And the stock availability will also be September. Okay. Any questions about this one or even the puff ceiling or
Yep.
the other products that
So there's one question on the Saturn ring. So this is PIR sensor only, not ultrasonic.
Yeah, correct. This is not an ultrasonic sensor. It's a PIR sensor, a simple infrared sensor. Okay.
Okay, awesome. That looks like the only question that I see. So we'll move right along to Anil. So thank you, Lihia, and I'll hand it off to Anil.
Okay, thank you so much.
Good morning, team. Anil Jaswani here. I'm the engineering manager in the professional luminaires group. Today, I will be presenting about the new ultrasonic stairwell luminaire on behalf of Eric Bockley, who's the product manager for this luminaire. He's out of office today. Next slide, please. Cool. Here on this slide, we have some key highlights and features for this new ultrasonic stairwell luminaire. These are available in two sizes, 2 foot and 4 foot. Each of these are lumen select and CCT selectable. Here we can see the different wattages and the lumens, that option for each of the 3 selectable features. Each of these also have the CCT selectability, varying between 3500, 4000 and 5000 Kelvin. So this basically adds more customization based on applications and also helps reduce or minimize the inventory. In this particular fixtures, we have this integrated in-fixture high-frequency ultrasonic motion sensor. These are high-resolution sensors. We'll review some more details in the following slides. These fixtures have very good efficacy. As you can see, 121 lumens per watt. These are DLC 5.1 premium rated, which helps enables energy savings and maximizing the rebate opportunities. Also, you'll see a little bit further in the slide deck, we see about the optics. We'll talk more about it. Very good uniform distribution, well-engineered optics, very superior construction of the luminaire, heavy-duty, white powder-coated steel body. This luminaire also comes with options with EMBB, emergency backup. These are 5-year warranty, and for the lifetime on the LEDs, we can go up to 150K L70. Next slide, Nick, please. Here we will talk a little bit about the superior optics. Here you can see in the picture of the side view of the precision polycarbonate extruded lens. Here you can see minor details here. The parallel V ridges that run through the length of the product. But these are very well engineered optics, which delivers uniform and optimum light distribution with no pixelation. This is very important because it increases safety and minimizes distraction, especially for stairwell or hallway applications. Next slide, please. Here we see an illustration of the optics we just talked about. So here in this illustration, you can see that on the inside of the PC lens, we shine a laser. So laser, as we know, has a very narrow and focused beam. We can see on the other side of the lens that the light distribution is very uniform and spread wide across. There's no pixelation anymore. So this also confirms that very good optical distribution, improves safety, and minimize distraction, especially for the hallway applications or the stairwell applications. Next slide, please. These are the beam distribution patterns for ceiling mount and the wall mount. Pretty wide vertical spread up to about 125 degrees. Very good distribution. Next slide, please. Here we, in this view, show how to remove and uninstall the lens on the luminaire. It's pretty simple and toolless removal of this lens. This, as you can see in this picture, is removed or replaced by squeezing it until it clears the top ridge and then lifting it out or pushing it back. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Next slide, please. The installation of these luminaires are very, very simple and straightforward. It's very simple. You follow with using the mounting template that's included in the luminaire for anchoring location holes. Then it can be easily mounted to that screw holes using the key holes on the luminaire backside. Next slide, please. As we saw in the previous slide, you take off the lens or diffuser. There are 2 screws on the top of the tray. You just remove it. And after that, this is the view that we see. We can change the CCT or the wattage. These 2 select switches are available in this. view you can see here, and all the wiring is done and the luminaire is good to go. So the installation is very simple and straightforward. Next slide, please. Now, in this slide and following few slides, we'll review the details of the integrated ultrasonic motion sensors and controls. As you can see, the control switches are located on the outside of the fixture for easy adjustments in the application. There is no need to open the luminaire completely if you have to change the settings of the controls later on. Next slide, please. Here in this view, we can see the details of the ultrasonic sensor. We see on the left is the emitter, and on the right is the receiver. This sensor is continuously sending and receiving signals. It detects presence or occupancy by sending high frequency sound waves and measures the change reflected sound waves. This is also known as Doppler effect. This is a very, very precise sensor. Any subtle sounds such as door opening, walking noise, etc. are picked up and by the sensor, and the luminaire turns on to full brightness. Unlike the PIR or the microwave sensors, ultrasonic sensors do not need a line of sight and are very sensitive to motion. Thus, it is very ideal for stairwells or long hallways. Next slide, please. Here we will talk a little bit about the controls and the options here. Right in the middle, the red switches, you will see there are two switches provided. Basically, these are for setting the dimming levels. There are 4 options available. You can set out to completely off, or the dim can be 10%, 25%, or 50%. Next slide, please. There are 2 more settings. The trim pot on the left basically helps adjust or change a detection range and sensitivity. There are 3 options available: low, medium, and high. As we turn this trim pot setting clockwise, it increases the sensitivity to either medium or to high. Or if you want to lower it, just go the other way. The trim pot on the right, number 2, basically helps adjust the time delay. This is the amount of time the fixture remains at 100% output after the motion stops. So 3 options available here: 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 20 minutes. Turning clockwise will increase the delay time, and counterclockwise will reduce it. So based on the application needs, these settings can be easily changed, which are always available on the outside of the luminaire. And there's also a test button available for quick checking and verifying. Next slide, please. So here is the ordering guide. Abbreviation and nomenclature. Here you will see the difference here is a little bit is we added this US at the end, which means comes with this ultrasonic sensor. Next slide, please. Here we see 4 codes are available, 2 for 2-foot and 2 for 4-foot versions. In each sizes, we have with and without EMBB. And without the EMBB, the stock will be available in September. And for the emergency backup versions, it's in made to order. I think this is the last slide. Do we have any questions?
Yep, there are a few questions. So is the ultrasonic sensor able to be set to dim but not go off?
Yes, that option is available. It can be done either off or it's basically bi-level dimming. So it can be either off or the minimum is 10%.
Okay. Looks like the next question got answered already, so we'll move right along. Any knockouts on the side?
Yes, they are available on the side.
Okay. And just one more. What is the IP rating?
I don't have it right now available with me, but I believe it is IP. I'll have to get back. I'll have to verify that.
Okay. All right. That looks like all of the questions that I see in the chat. So thank you, Anil.
Thank you.
And we'll hand it off to Emily. Take it away, Emily.
Thanks, Nick. Okay, so we will be introducing the value-led CCT selectable floodlights. Every product will come as shown in this slide, where you will have 2 different mounting options in the box. They are all DLC premium. They're CCT selectable, 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000 K. They are IP65 and they're 0 to 10 volt dimmable. We will have a variety of different wattages and different sizes. So there are 5 different sizes of product, ranging from a 15 watt product all the way up to a 330 watt product. The initial launch that is coming available shortly will be the 15 watt through the 140 watt, and then the 205 watt through the 330 watt will be available in November. They're all in the bronze finish. They're all 120 to 277 volt, 50,000 hours life, and they have a wide flood distribution. Next slide. So as I mentioned on the first slide, all of the products will have 2 mounting options. The 15 watt through the 80 watt will have the 1/2-inch knuckle, as shown in the top picture, for mounting directly to a junction box for the knockout. The 105 watt through 330 watt will have the slip fitter mount for mounting over a 2 3/8 inch tenon. And then all fixtures will have a trunnion mount also. The trunnion mount does not come installed. Either the knuckle or the slip fitter come installed. The trunnion will be in the box. So if you want to change to the trunnion, you remove 2 screws for the slip fitter or knuckle, and you attach the trunnion mount. Next slide. As I mentioned, all of the products will be CCT selectable. It is enabled through a switch that's located at the top of the luminaire. The 15 watt through 80 watt will have a CCT selection under the bronze knockout on the right, unlike this picture here. And then we'll have the photocell on-off switch under the clear knockout on the left. The higher wattages will have, as it is shown here, everything is under that clear knockout. Both switches, both the CCT selectable and the photocell on-off. CCT will be set to 4,000 K, and then you can just switch from 3,000 to 4,000 to 5,000, and the photocell will be enabled as it ships to you. So if you want to turn the photocell off, then you would just put it in the off position. Next slide. So we did have a couple of earlier generations of the floodlight from the Slim Flood 1A, which we currently only have the 100 watt available, and the Slim Flood 2A, which is a 30 watt and a 50 watt. Those are all being phased out and will be replaced with the new family, which will range from the 15 watt up to the 330 watt. So you have 11 SKUs being introduced, but you do have 132 options because you have 3 different color temperatures, you have 2 different mounting options, and you have with and without photocell. Next slide. Samples have just shipped this week. So samples will start being going out the end of this month. Beginning of next month, everybody should get their 15 watt sample. And then we have a limited supply of 140 watt samples that will be going out to each region. Stock is slated to arrive on the 15 to 140 watt in October. We are taking customer orders now. We do already have some orders in the system. So we will start shipping as soon as the stock arrives. And then, like I mentioned before, the 205 through 330 watt is coming in November. The PIB is available now. The IES files are actually, we just got them and they'll be uploaded onto the layout tool shortly. And the installation guide is also available now. LM79s are also available. And I think that's it.
Yep. Thank you. We do have one question. One was already answered, but we do have another. Any plans for a narrow beam pattern?
So we do not have a plan for a narrow beam pattern in this value LED family, but we are planning on introducing a ultra LED family of floodlights at the beginning of next year, and those will include multiple distribution options, narrow, medium, and as well as wide.
Okay.
Right.
That's the only question that I see. So
Thank you very much.
thank you, Emily. And we'll move right along and hand it off to Natalia.
Hello. So my name is Natalia, and today we're going to go over the newest addition to our HIDR portfolio, which is the Ultra LED Linkable work lights. So you can go to the next slide. All right, so the applications that this product is intended for are for indoor and temporary construction. You can link up to 48 sets of the lights, which equals 248 lights for the lowest wattage. They all have an IP65 rating, and they're all plug-based and very, very easy to transport. This product was chosen specifically because it integrates nicely with the existing Ultra LED work light. So between those two products, you should have everything you need for any indoor or temporary constructions that you've got. On the right of the screen, you'll see the wattage breakdown. So the wattage on the left is the total watts for the entire string. The wattage on the right is the individual lamp wattage. And then the linkability and the gauge of the wire are also based on the wattage. So I think that they're all 16 gauge wire, but on the right, you can see that they link 240 lamps for the lowest wattage, which is 48 sets. They are only offered in one CCT, which is 5,000 Kelvin, and they are non-dimmable. And because they're plug-based, they only run on 120 volts. All right, I'm ready for the next slide if you are. So here's a line drawing. Regardless of the wattage of the lamps, all of them are the same size. So the lamps are the same size and the string is the same size, but there are 4 different wattages offered. So each one is 9.8 feet, and then below you can see that it's 3,000 millimeters between each one. All right, ready for the next one? So one of the best features of this product is that it's linkable, and you can see that the arrow points to the waterproof connector that you'll unscrew and you'll link together. That's up to 48 sets for the lowest watt versions, which is 470 feet of linkable lights, which is a significant amount of light. Next slide, please. All right, so unlike the previous products you saw, there are no plans to phase anything out in conjunction with this product. So this is only a phase-in product and it's net new. And yeah, you can see kind of how it fits together. The new product is on the left and its cousin, which is the existing work light, is on the right. Next slide, please. Here's a good marketing slide that you can show to your customers. I like it because it shows the target markets and it also lists some of the key features. You'll also see those listed on the PIBs. Another thing to touch on is that this also has a really wide operating range for temperatures. Sometimes you'll see it listed as only applicable for indoor environments. I live near Chicago, which is very cold. So in the winter, I can see how that wouldn't be useful outside, but in a lot of regions, that's not the case. So it's totally fine to use outside if you don't go below that temperature. Next slide, please.
That is all that you have.
That's all I got? Okay, well, the last thing I wanted to say about this product is that we are sending out samples. The samples are supposed to arrive to our distribution center tomorrow, and so you'll see them next week. Anyone in sales who wants more than one, please feel free to let me know and I'll be sure to get it to you. Otherwise, I've got the IES files and the LM79s as well if you think that would be useful. But yeah, let's see. Were there any questions that you saw, Nick?
There is one. How are the different wattages shown on the product?
I'm thinking that you mean, do you mean what is the difference between the wattages? maybe?
I think it's more of how are the different wattages indicated, if there is any indication on the product.
So the packaging has all of the wattages and lumens listed, and also there's a sticker on each of the individual products. Once you take it out of the box, that'll list the wattage. Oh, how can I tell? I think I see a question.
Yep. Yeah, I think you just answered it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it will be on the packaging.
Okay, and another one that just came in. What is the CRI for wire color recognition?
The CRI is over 80 for the color rendering index. I'm not sure what the wire color recognition is.
Okay, so over 82 CRI. Okay, that's all of the questions that I see right now.
All right, let me know if you need anything else.
Thank you. Okay, and with that, we'll hand it off to Jody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jody Valenti. I am the product manager for LED T-LEDs. This is a product extension of the leadlescent family, so our ballast-free family, and it has UNH in the designation to indicate that it's universal voltage. So this, instead of being a 120 to 277 volt product, it is operating directly on 120 to 347 volts. So the intended audience is really applications in Canada to address their expanded voltage. So like the rest of the leadlescent family, this product is double-ended. So line to one end, neutral to the other, and there's no polarity. So it can be installed in either direction. Again, like the rest of the family, it is frosted glass construction. So it's a glass lamp and it is DLC listed. You can see the specifications there. It's 15 watts up to 2200 lumens. There is one error there on that slide, and we will update before distributing. It's not dimming in this model. So it's DLC 5.1 with a 5-year warranty. So the nades are listed there below. As you notice, they'll have the UNH right in the description to indicate to you that it is operating up to 347 volts. For applications, it's everything that you would normally use any other fluorescent replacement LED product. So office, education, retail, everywhere. And next slide, please. So again, just to reiterate the family of the nades in the specifications, just note that we did introduce the 3000K, but it will be a special order since volume is very low. The other color temperatures are currently in stock. And I don't have an additional slide, and I don't see any questions.
Yeah,
unless
I don't see any questions either. So
Okay.
I think you're good.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jody. And we'll move on, last but not least, to Anna. Take it away.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anna. I'm one of the LED product managers for lamps, and today I'll be talking to you about our new Dusk to Dawn portfolio. Go to the next slide. Cool. All right, so our lamps have a built-in light sensor that'll automatically turn on in low light conditions. Once it does sense natural sunlight, it'll turn back off. And again, once it's low light or dark, it'll turn on. These are plastic, they're rated for damp locations. We do have the 3 different shapes, so we'll have an A19 acting as a 6-watt replacement, the A21 is the 100-watt replacement, and a PAR 38 that is the 120-watt replacement. These are non-dim, and there will be a 40-second delay when they turn off once the light source has been detected. Obviously, the great thing about this is there's no need to automatically, or I should say there's no need to turn on and off the lamps. It'll just automatically take care of itself. Once again, in the low light situations, which are perfect for residential applications, and even some hospitality applications as well. We did list the A19 and the Par 38 as Energy Star, but we are working to get the A21 listed in future generations, but at the moment it is not currently listed. Both the A-line products will be coming out in the 2700K and the 5000K CCT. And as for the Par 38, it'll be 3000K and 5000K with a 15,000 hour lifetime. And no, these cannot be completely enclosed. So that question come in. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking to offer. So again, we'll be offering it, like I said, in 3 shapes, 2 CCTs per shape. The A19 and the Par 38 are Energy Star listed, and inventory will be available in September as well.
Okay, awesome. I don't see any other questions. If you have any other last minute questions, please enter them in the chat. I do see another one that just came in. Yes, there will be a copy of these slides sent out to everybody who has attended. So do not worry. These will be in your hands sometime early next week. Okay. I don't see any other questions. If you have any other questions, please reach out to your local Leadvance sales rep, and I hope everyone has a great day and a great rest of the week. And we'll see you all next time. Thank you, everybody.